400 miles from Istanbul, on the Turkish railway, is where the movie begins. Robert McCall goes into the train's bar cart and shares a drink with his target, a Turkish guy who has taken his daughter from her American mother in order to injure and resent his former spouse. The man tells his soldiers to take care of McCall after learning of his mission. After surveying the room and setting his countdown, McCall starts punching, smashing, stabbing, and neck snapping all of the henchmen. He goes up to the father and offers him the opportunity to escape. When the mother, Grace, arrives in Boston, her daughter, Riza Olivia Coate, is waiting for her in her lawyer's office. She gives her young daughter a tearful embrace. Currently, McCall drives for Lyft, and the oldest passenger he takes rides from is an old man named Sam Rubenstein. Sam is working on a case to find his sister, who has been missing for a long time. McCall frequently talks to some of his passengers while keeping an eye on others. He is instructed to bring Amy, a young woman who has been drugged and may have been raped, home one evening. After McCall drives her to the hospital, he goes back to the boy's apartment where the attack occurred. The punk's leader tries to beat McCall after encouraging him to do the right thing, but McCall cuts him with the guy's card, breaks his and his friend's bones, and flees. A man named Mr. Calvert returns home to find his wife battered and in tears in Belgium. Resnick, Ari, and Kovic, 3 males, come out and shoot the wife once in the head. Mr. Calvert is then made to sit down by them, and Resnick then puts a gun in his mouth and pulls the trigger. He arrives home to find Susan Plummer waiting for him, and the two of them enjoy a cordial supper together. Susan recommends that McCall should go out more as she seems to have forgotten that it was his late wife Vivian's birthday. McCall discovers that graffiti has been put on the walls and that one of his neighbors, Fatima, had her garden vandalized. Before Miles Whitaker, a young guy who often interacts with McCall and is an aspiring artist, can see it, McCall begins to wipe it off. Miles offers to pay McCall to assist in taking it down. After the Calvert's murder, Susan speaks with Dave York, a colleague, while they look into the case. In order to examine the crime scene, they take a plane to Belgium. When Susan returns to her hotel room, 2 thugs attack her from behind. Before they try to corner her in the bedroom, she puts up a strong fight and stops them from yelling about money. When McCall receives a call from Susan's husband Brian informing him that Susan has been murdered, he is watching Miles paint the wall. After flying to Washington, D.C. for the burial, McCall reviews images from the crime site and hotel security footage to begin looking into Susan's death. When the phone rings, the goons in their apartment start to blast music. They discover another phone on the floor after realizing it's not coming from either of their phones. Their radio explodes as they answer it, killing them both. Resnick and his friends watch from outside, having taken care of them. McCall discovers Dave, who thought McCall had passed away. After learning that the thugs were killed, McCall concludes that Susan's death might have anything to do with the Calvert murders and that there were merely some unresolved issues. Miles is seen by McCall going out with 2 local thugs, following them to their flat. He disarms their guards and seizes their firearms in an attempt to make Miles accompany him, despite making it obvious that he has no business dealing with these individuals. McCall states that he was there because they were going to assist him in exacting revenge on the goons who killed his brother. McCall is a driver for a man who claims to be heading to the airport. The passenger tries to attack him as he discloses that he got suspicious and purposely took the incorrect route. He succeeds in repeatedly elbowing McCall in the face as he drives about, swerving wildly to knock the guy around. Next, the man tries to shoot McCall, but McCall snatches the gun and fires back at him. Before setting the assassin's body on fire in the car, he takes the assassin's phone and looks through it for coded information. After picking up the phone, McCall visits Dave's home and gets to know his wife and 2 girls. McCall shows Dave the data on the phone as they exit the room and follows the trail to another phone, which just so happens to be Dave's. He tells how they got into some bad business after he and the other men, all CIA trainees trained by McCall, thought he was dead. When Susan almost found out, Dave killed her. In order to reunite with Resnick, Ari, and Kovic, Dave leads McCall outside. Because of what they did to Susan, he swears to murder them all. Then, as if to mock him, Dave's wife gives McCall a ride. Fearing that Brian would be used as a loose end, McCall whisks him away to a safe house until he resolves the issue. Miles is currently painting McCall's wall at his condo. Miles and McCall are talking on the phone when Dave and Kovic try to break into the apartment. Miles follows his instructions to locate a hidden hiding place behind his bookshelf, but as he gets there, he begins to feel constricted. Before he locates Miles, McCall calls Dave to let him know where to look for him. Dave kidnaps Miles at gunpoint just as he believes he is free to leave. As his former community is being evacuated due to a hurricane, McCall travels there. To locate McCall, the 4 criminals search the entire town. Kovic enters a store and believes he sees McCall there, but McCall pierces Kovic's head with a harpoon. Ari pursues him after that, but McCall intercepts him first and slashes him all over his body. Resnick bursts open in his stomach after getting blown up by a bomb while following McCall through another store. Dave finds himself perched atop a tower, attempting to snipe McCall. He is able to get in touch with him and informs him that McCall needs to turn himself in or Dave would kill Miles, who is hidden away in a trunk. He fires a few mocking bullets, but before he can deliver his final blow, McCall shoots Miles's car tire so that Dave will miss him. After reaching the summit of the tower, McCall challenges Dave in combat. He attempts stabbing McCall, but McCall moves quickly. He gouges out Dave's eye, then takes out his dagger and stabs him in the abdomen. He then throws Dave over the tower, smashing him against the rocks and allowing the ocean to sweep his body away. Miles was shot in the leg, as McCall discovers when he goes to release him. After bringing the youngster to his former home, he tends to the boy's injuries and halts the bleeding. Miles then sees photos of McCall from his time as a soldier, along with photos of him and Vivian. When Fatima returns home, she notices that her garden has been fixed up and that Miles has painted a mural on the wall that seems to show what life was like in her former nation. Inscribed on the wall across from you is, "I leave you with the best of myself." Additionally, we witness Miles conversing with a schoolgirl on a bus when she notices a drawing he is creating that was inspired by McCall. Sam and his sister Magda getting back together after McCall tugged a few threads. In the last shot, McCall is staring out to sea from the exterior of his former home.